My name is Lucy Fisher West. I was born in Catskill, New York on August the 5th, 1949. I have lived in El Paso all of my life. My mother was Mexican, my father was German. They came here after I was born, and I've been an educator in one thing or another all of my life. Preschool, a little bit of university, a lot of music, and now I am a teacher at Cathedral High School. I've been there since 2003. In 2003, I started writing and published my first book in 2005, and since then there have been several articles that I have written. So that's, in a nutshell, that's me. In terms of hardships, I never felt them. We had basics of a house. I grew up in an adobe house. I mean, the house was structurally great. It was 3 rooms, a small kitchen, a bedroom, and a living room. That's the way the house started out. And most of the people on the block had that or less. I used to call it our hunting and gathering expedition, because we would get off the bus or get off the trolley in downtown, and then we would go first in one direction and then in another direction. And from there we would get whatever we needed, and then we would go to my grandmother's house, which was probably about another mile walk. And so then we would spend the afternoon with her. If we hadn't gotten our meat, for example, then we would stop at a meat market between my grandmother's house, which was in Bella Vista, and then go toward the trolley or toward the bus in order to get home. On any given day, I would gather up all the kids from my neighborhood that were younger than I was, and then I'd be out there with a slate, with a real, honest-to-God piece of slate, because my father collected junk. If it was good for something, he brought it home. And so I don't know if you know what slate is, but it's a stone. And so, he brought home pieces of slate, and so we got chalk, and and I'd pass around everybody's little piece of slate, and I'd give lessons, and everybody would be writing down things. In 1995, I was lucky enough to be picked to do a group study exchange, be part of a group study exchange team that went to Nepal and India. But probably the best experience was meeting Mother Teresa in 1995. I mean, I think the traveling to Calcutta, to India, then gave me an opportunity to do that. And one of the most thrilling experiences for me in that hour and a half or so that we were with her is that when we got up to leave, she gave us miraculous medals, blessed miraculous medals to keep. And there were about 9 of us who were there, and she shook hands with everybody. And then when she got to me, she took my face in both of her hands and brought my face down to hers. She was a tiny woman. She was a very, very tiny woman. And so that whole having both of her hands on my face was, I mean, it still gives me goosebumps when I talk about it, because it's electric. I mean, it's just having somebody who has dedicated their life to good works and being so avid and so faithful about doing good in the world. I mean, it's an inspiration, and it always will be. A lady from Texas Tech University Press came up to me, handed me her card, and she says, I want you to do 50 to 60,000 words for me. In essays or one continuous essay, she says, you call the format, you do the writing for me, and I will publish it. And it was like one of those being discovered, sitting in a soda fountain in Hollywood or something, like, people talk about.